And we are live. It's your favorite insurance agent, DarnaldJr. And this is FinLit Live. This is the show where we talk about personal finances so you can amplify your financial status and go to that next level. Because guess what? They don't teach us how money works in school. And so I have a Baylor business degree, and they taught us how to evaluate a business. They taught us how to do an income statement and balance sheet, but they never taught us how to improve our credit score. So that's the purpose of this show, is to talk about personal finances. And today we're talking about real estate, and that's a very, very hot topic. It always is. And we have 8 proven ways where you can harness the power of real estate to help your financial situations. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive in and get lit. I'm bringing on my show my brother from another mother. We are matching today. That's how much we're in sync. Michael G. Davis. What's up, Michael?
Hey, man. What is going on, Darnald? I'm so glad to be here, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you were swamped because you have a lot of things moving and shaking. But go ahead and introduce yourself. Who are you? What are you up to? And where are you from?
Hey, man, I appreciate the opportunity, Darnald. Look, my name is Michael G. Davis, a.k.a. at CEO Coach Mike. I'm the CEO and broker of Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. I'll be going on 15 years in that role come next year, 20 years in real estate. I'm also the coach. So at CEO Coach Mike, I do coaching through my organization, for my agents, for leadership coaching. I also do coaching outside of my agents at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. Really, really big into educating the community on how to utilize this vehicle called real estate and using it to build wealth. So super excited to be here today on FinLit Live to see if I can educate you guys on some things.
Excellent. Well, once again, we appreciate your time, and you have a powerful, powerful, powerful thing to talk about today, because real estate is one of the best ways to build wealth, and almost any millionaire utilizes real estate in their portfolio to help them go to that next level. And so you have some tips and tricks for us, 8 pointers on how we can utilize real estate to build our financial security. So let's go ahead and dive in. Number 1, what is your number 1 tip on how people could use real estate to help themselves?
No, absolutely, Darnald. So, when it comes to real estate, it's that's what makes the vehicle so powerful, because of this very first tip that I'm going to talk about, and that's diversification and stability, right? Because real estate offers the diversification in your whatever investment portfolio that you have, right? Some people will, they look at stocks. Some people look at bonds, mutual funds, annuities. There's a number of classes, but within real estate, not only do you have real estate, but you got multiple options inside of real estate, whether that is multifamily, whether that is retail or commercial, whether that is just a single family home that maybe was willed to you and you're able to get a renter into that property, and it puts you in a position to have that stream of income and add to your portfolio of property. So it really helps with weathering the market and the fluctuations within the market to diversify yourself when it comes to investment. So that's definitely the first tip that I would love to provide when it comes to real estate, Darnald.
So diversification, yeah, there's a lot of asset classes out there, and real estate being one of them. And what has been your personal experience with diversifying? How has that helped your personal portfolio? Have you seen other clients that you've helped with their personal portfolio?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, we started out with my family, my grandmother's home. We got it. We bought out my aunt. We modeled it. We put a renter in it. And, we were able to pull equity out of the house to use in some other facets. So we just started out with something that was willed down when you talk about legacy wealth and legacy. So we experienced that. Well, now we've, evolved into doing some, purchasing land, into doing some development, developing multifamily, to where now you can get multiple units on the land, with the hopes at some point that we could possibly evolve into the commercial space. Donald, I think as you get more comfortable just progressing in the real estate, then you begin to educate yourself more, and you begin to really use the vehicle to achieve the things that you're looking to achieve. We always like to start people off with, when talking about building wealth with real estate, we definitely want to start off with buying a house, like buying a home, buying where you live first, and then just use it as a springboard to elevate it to higher heights.
Absolutely. That's huge. Yeah, my wife and I were so grateful that one of our cousins, she's a realtor, she encouraged us to buy a house back in 2019.
Oh, wow.
Talk about impeccable timing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're definitely living the fruits of your labor right now.
Absolutely. And the thing is, we were able to refi, guess what, in 2021, and we hit it at the bottom of the market. Oh my gosh. We got a 2.625 interest rate.
Oh man, don't say that too loud, man. They're jealous. You'll cause a mutiny out here, Darnell, man.
No. Yeah, right now it's like what, around 6 to 7%.
Yeah, man, you'll cause a mutiny out here, man. Don't say that. People be mad.
So what's tip number 2 that you have for our audience here?
Absolutely, man. So tip number 2, let's talk about appreciation potential, right? When it comes to any asset class, there really isn't anything out there, especially when you're talking about return on investment or cash on cash return, that will really benefit you the way that appreciation potential does. I mean, when you're talking about long-term capital gain, and when you're talking about increased wealth, I mean, real estate's got to be your ticket. Yeah, you can make money on a short-term play, especially if you go in and you begin to do improvements and things like that, which is something we're going to talk about, forced appreciation. But real estate is just one of those things. If you hold on to it long enough, no matter how much you pay for it, if you hold on to it long enough, it's going to turn over with great dividends. So we definitely want to talk about that appreciation potential when it comes to real estate, Darnell.
That's huge. And with appreciation potential, guess what? That increases your borrowing ability, right? Because you could take out a home loan. You could take out different vehicles where you can actually borrow against your house and use it for other things if you want to start a business or if you want to reinvest in a real estate. And so that's huge, because I don't know if you know these numbers, but do you know what the average house costs probably 50 years ago? Is probably what, $30,000 is what I heard, right? Well, and now the average home is around $400,000.
Yeah, it's a crazy gain, right? So I'll use my other grandmother. So she's living in her very first house. I literally sat with her and I heard the stories of when her and my grandfather relocated from Sugar Land, right? Mm-hmm. And the reason they left Sugar Land was because they wouldn't allow Black people to buy houses in Sugar Land at that time. Oh, no. This was in the early 50s. And they moved to the only suburb where Black people could live at the time. At the time, they called it Chocolate Bayou, but now we know it as Sunnyside.
Oh yeah. So
they bought that house. They found that house visiting her sister, and next thing you know, they bought that house for $5,000. Darnell, $5,000.
Are you serious?
$5,000, and there's a house that just sold walking distance to her house for $290,000.
Oh my gosh! Talk about return on investment.
Look, she has the house still. She's adding on to the house. I mean, there's a lot of wealth that's built into that property. That initial investment of $5,000 back in the early 1950s.
I did not know that about Sunnyside. It's really funny you say that, because that's exactly where my grandmother bought her house too. So
now you know. Now you know, Darnell. That's because they ain't no other options.
The more you know. Right. Speaking of more you know, what's the third tip you have on how real estate can help you build wealth?
Absolutely, man. Well, it actually kind of speaks a little bit to what you were referencing, and that's leverage with financing, right? Real estate is not one of those things that you have to pay cash for. Like, you don't really hear a lot of people getting loans to purchase stock or getting loans to purchase bonds or annuities, anything like that. People actually have to put their own cash, into these vehicles. Well, real estate is just one of those things where you can not only gain ownership of it, but you can leverage other people's money by utilizing financing. And being able to do that, you're definitely able to capitalize on those appreciation gains that we talked about. So using finance options such as mortgages to be able to control these larger assets and have a smaller initial investment. Now, people hear me say smaller investment. 20% is not a small investment. Well, 20% compared to 100%, is
Mm,
definitely a smaller initial investment. So point number 3, leveraging the ability to leverage it with financing.
excellent. That's huge. So yeah, leverage with financing, you could do a lot of other things with that financing, correct?
Absolutely. So, one of the things that you talked about is being able to access that equity that you've built into the property and the appreciation. You have vehicles like home equity loans, or you have even now, and this is gaining a lot of interest. It's the home equity line of credit. So it's like a credit card against the equity in your property. The reason that people are really navigating to this one right now, Darnell, is because of what you and I talked about earlier. It's, hey, if I got a 2.75 interest rate, well, I don't want to do a home equity loan or refinance, and now I got 7%. Yeah, I can pull all that cash out, but I'm pulling all that cash out at a much higher interest rate. Why would I do that? So with a home equity line of credit, you keep your existing mortgage in place, you keep that existing interest rate in place, and then you can, whatever money that you use, you can access that equity, and then you're just paying that new higher interest on whatever money that you use. So even if you get approved for 100, 200,000 of the equity in your house, if you only pull out 10,000, then you're only paying interest on that 10,000 that you use, and you still have access to the other 190 when you need it.
Oh my gosh, that was worth the cost of admission right there. Like if people implement that, this show is free, guys. So
Yeah,
you didn't pay anything to get these gems. Like people literally pay a lot of money for these gems. So if you're getting any
absolutely.
value, go ahead and smash that like button, put fire in the chat, let them know
Yeah.
this is fire information, that you get
Yes.
some value out of this because Mike
Cindy,
is
look,
bringing it today.
I'm
All
finna
right,
blow your head. I'm finna blow your head some more.
let's go.
Even to a lot of times when you're trying to access and utilize loans, you have to pay closing costs. Like there's origination fees, closing costs. Right now, we have a relationship with a bank that they'll do the home equity line of credit for you at zero closing costs. That means you don't pay nothing. You don't pay nothing to be able to access $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 worth of
Bro,
equity in
pass
your
me
house.
their number.
I got you, man. I got you. But yeah, it's power, very powerful vehicle, man. Very powerful vehicle.
That's huge. All right. So what's the next tip you have for us?
Absolutely, man. So here's another good one. Again, I talked about this earlier as far as my family and us being introduced into the real estate investing space. And so tip number 4 is passive income from rentals, right? So there's a lot of income generating potential when it comes to rental properties. When you have consistent rental payments, you can create a reliable source of passive income. So passive income is, really what the name of the game is, right? Making money while you're asleep, putting that money to work. We go out there and we work really, really hard to generate income. Well, now that income that you've generated, you can put it to work by purchasing rental properties, putting renters in there, and now you have that passive income coming in on a regular basis. So real estate is a great vehicle for you to create passive income, whether that's a single family property or whether that's a duplex. I was on the phone with one of my prospective customers today about a development that they're doing in Baytown. He wants to build 2 duplexes, and we were talking about the income potential when it came to doing that. So that's one of the great things. That's my 4th tip, passive income for rentals when it comes to real estate.
Yeah, and Grant Cardone is huge on that. He's like,
Yes.
I don't care how much the property costs. I don't care how much the mortgage is. As long as that income is greater than what you're paying in the mortgage, like it doesn't matter what the interest rate is.
Doesn't
Like
matter.
if you're paying $2,200 on a property, but you're charging somebody $2,600, guess what? You still have a $400 spread that's cash in your bank account. That's pure profit, right?
It doesn't matter. Look, I tell people this all the time, Darnell. I say, Warren Buffett, the 2 rules of investing. He gave us the 2 rules of investing, right? You ever heard this before? You might have heard this before. What Warren Buffett's 2 rules of investing is?
Yep.
Yeah. No, rule number 1, don't lose money. Right? Don't lose money. So as long as you're not losing money, we good.
Absolutely.
Rule number 2, don't forget rule number 1.
I love it.
Money.
I
Yeah,
love it.
don't lose money. Yeah. So and again, real estate, that's the beauty of it, right? You could be breaking completely even, and you're still winning because of appreciation.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, you're dropping gems here. So what is tip number 5?
Absolutely, man. All right, so let's talk about the tax man, right? You see the IRS coming, and the one thing that he is very lenient on is real estate, right? There are various tax advantages when it comes to owning real estate, investing in real estate. Now you have the ability when it comes to deducting mortgage interest, property taxes, depreciation, right? So it can significantly decrease your taxable income. So for my high income earners, y'all need to come see me. We need to go take some of that income and we need to go redirect it into real estate and begin to use that income to not only generate wealth, but also alleviate some of your tax burden when it comes to the amount of income that you make. So the tax benefits of owning real estate are tremendous.
Yeah, that's huge because, like I mentioned, most millionaires own real estate, right?
Yeah.
Guess who is in charge of our nation? It's the millionaires, right?
Are you saying that they're making the code for their benefit? Is that what you're saying? All this stuff is
they're writing the taxes to benefit themselves, and if they own real estate, they're gonna make their taxes more lenient towards real estate.
Yes. Look, I'm not saying that you telling the truth, but you probably telling the truth. That's all I'm saying.
You has the gold makes the rules, right?
Hey, there it is. There it is, my brother.
Cool. And so what's tip number 6?
All right. Tip number 6. All right. So, not to talk too much over people's heads, but tip number 6 has to do with inflation, right? The inflation hedge. Real estate can act as a hedge against inflation. Again, as rental income increases, that's the one thing that increases when inflation increases, right? When the cost of goods increase, typically rent goes up. So by having rental property and having renters, you're able to hedge some of that inflation because you're able to capitalize on the rents going up. Another thing is property values. Property values tend to rise when inflation goes up as well. Mm-hmm. So it definitely helps because with the property values increasing, it helps preserve the purchasing power of people. So real estate is another one of those good vehicles that can help and that can hedge against some of the common challenges that we see in a nation as wealthy as ours, that inflation piece. So it hedges inflation.
Oh my gosh, inflation is such a hot topic right now. And obviously the Feds are doing whatever they can to help curb it. And they've been doing a pretty decent job. They're getting it down. I think it was like a little over 3% the last time I checked. But it's still not at their 2% mark that they're looking for. Yeah. And that means prices are still going up. Like that's groceries still cost more, cars still cost more, everything still costs more. But there's always opportunities in environments like this. And you're exactly right on hedging against inflation, because if everything's being inflated, guess what? Property values are being inflated too. That's right. And so that means your net worth is being inflated. That's how you build true net worth.
That's right. Put your money in real estate. Come on, Darnald. They're not listening to us.
That's right. Put it in real estate. This is great. I'm having so much fun. You're awesome, Mike. So
appreciate it.
We have 2 more points. And so what's point number 7?
2 more points, and we're done. All right. So point number 7, forced appreciation. I talked about this earlier. All right. So you have regular appreciation. And what that means is you don't do nothing. You don't do nothing to the house. You just own it. You pay the mortgage every month. Or if you pay cash, you just go in and out. And just over time, naturally, organically, what you paid for it, it's going to be worth more than the current value, right? So that's just appreciation. Well, forced appreciation is when you buy an asset, you buy real estate, and you improve it. You improve upon it. So again, going to that example that I used earlier with my grandmother's house, right? We remodeled it, we rehabbed it, we fixed it up. And by doing that, we made the house more valuable. So that's forced appreciation. So again, it ain't many investment assets that you can literally make it more valuable, make the asset more valuable by doing certain things to it, by improving it in certain ways. And that's something that you can do with real estate. So that forced appreciation piece is a grave benefit when it comes to owning real estate and the reason to own it.
Oh, yeah, that's great. I have a YouTuber that I follow on, obviously, YouTube. And that's one of the things he encouraged people to do. He's like, find the worst house on the block. And that's the house you want to buy. Like everybody wants to go for the nicest, the latest, the greatest, the newest. It's like, no, go find the worst house on the block that's for sale and buy that one. And then do your rehab, fix it up. And guess what? Boom. You have instant equity. You have instant value that you add to the community. Like the community will appreciate it. Like if it's a dilapidated house and it's the house that is the eyesore for the community and it's dragging down everybody's property value, and you go in and you renovate that one, guess what? All the neighbors can be like, yeah.
They are, man. We're gonna bring you a basket of cookies, Darnell. Hey man, you want some cookies? You good? You need some water? Like, yeah, they definitely gonna be rooting for you.
Absolutely. And you could do one or two things. You could hold on to it, rent it out, or you could flip it and make a profit off of it. So
absolutely.
Awesome. Man, you're dropping. If you are getting any gems, smash that like button. Let Mike know that he is bringing the fire today. And so without any further ado, last but not least, what is the last tip you have for us today?
Last tip. All right. So the last thing, it has to do with, I've spoken a lot about, other asset classes like stocks, like bonds, like, mutual funds, ETFs, things like that. Well, real estate, actually, there's a certain asset class that involves real estate that acts just like those other asset classes, and those are called REITs. REIT stands for Real Estate Investment Trust. So it's an option for people that they don't necessarily want to deal with the risks of buying the property, fixing the property, renting the property. They don't necessarily want to deal with the risks that come with that, but they want to be a part of real estate. Like they want to be involved in it. So the REIT allows people to invest in it just like as if they were investing in a mutual fund. And all the REIT is that it's a group of real estate properties. They're taking your money and they're investing it into large real estate projects, right? And offering you a return on investment for allowing them to use that money to purchase real estate, manage real estate, develop real estate. And they're developing large commercial projects. So REITs offer you an opportunity. It offers people an opportunity to invest in real estate and in a safer way, in a safer manner, right? Now, as a real estate professional, licensed real estate broker, I'm not able to sell you no REIT, right? For you to get into REITs, you got to go to the same people that are licensed to be able to sell you stocks, bonds. You have to have that particular license. But now when you're going to talk to your financial broker that is handling that for you, you might want to mention, hey, are there any REITs that would be an opportunity for me to invest in real estate and capitalize? Again, we talked about diversifying our portfolio. So number 8 tip is REITs offering you a little bit of ownership in a real estate capacity, but it offers you the safety and the assurance of, say, a stock or a bond.
Wait. Hold up. So what you're saying is I can invest in real estate with actually not owning real estate? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I'm saying that you can capitalize off the benefits of everything that we talked about through an increased return on investment of whatever you've invested, growing and increasing. You can capitalize off of all of that without having to take the risk of actually owning the property, managing the property, and delivering the product to the marketplace. Yes, that is what I'm saying, Darnell. Yes, that is what I'm saying.
Mind blown.
Yes, sir.
This is why we have financial education. This is why we have financial literacy.
Yes, sir.
Because they don't teach this in school.
They don't.
In high school, do you ever know about a REIT?
Oh, let me tell you, I didn't even know what a realtor was. I didn't know about anything of what I'm doing right now. I didn't know. I wasn't exposed to any of that in high school. Hell, I wasn't exposed to it in college.
Right.
Hey.
Wow. So we appreciate you for sharing that. If you have any questions for Michael, go ahead and type in the chat your comments, and I'll be happy to share that on the screen. And Michael will be happy to answer any question that's reasonable in his expertise. And while they're doing that, how can people get a hold of you if they want to utilize your services, if they want to buy a house, etc.?
No, I mean, I'm glad you asked that. So, the easiest way to really engage and connect with us at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm is to just visit our website, brooksanddavisrealestatefirm.com or brooksanddavis.com, whichever you prefer. And when you go to that website, you're going to see areas that talk to people that are interested in buying. We have a whole web page with a wealth of information there for you to check out. You even have the capacity to where you could view and look at properties. And then we also have a page that just speaks to people that are looking to sell, right? Again, a wealth of information, knowledge. You'll see our method of how we liquidate properties. So you'll be able to see that. Or you're thinking about getting into real estate, right? At this point, Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm has surpassed 100 people a part of our organization. We're growing by leaps and bounds. We have an office on the north side of town. We have an office on the west side of town. We're launching into Austin, the Austin area. We're looking at going into Dallas. So we're making some great leaps and bounds. So if you're thinking about getting into this career of real estate, thinking about getting your real estate license, you want to connect with a company that's going to support you and educate you and take care of you, then Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm is definitely an option. So you can learn more about that on our website as well. Another great place to go to connect with us is our YouTube channel. We call it Success in Real Estate YouTube channel. We post on that YouTube channel multiple times a week. We have 4 digital shows that you'll be able to check out that we call BND TV. So it's a phenomenal way to stay engaged. It's also a phenomenal way to get educated. Constantly doing trainings, constantly doing events, and educating the marketplace and people when it comes to real estate. So our website, our YouTube channel, I encourage you to connect with me personally on Instagram. So at CEO Coach Mike on Instagram. I typically go live on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I go live on Thursdays as well. Matter of fact, in about 30 minutes, I'm going to be going live. And I'm going to be talking about some non-traditional tools and methods for people that are looking to buy or sell that they don't really know about that's in the marketplace. I'm going to open up my treasure box. So those 3 areas, man, our website, our YouTube channel, and connect with me personally on Instagram.
Excellent. Yeah, it sounds like there's multiple ways to get a hold of you. We do have a couple of questions from the audience. I'm not sure if you're able to answer this one or not, but it says, do you offer funding option for business owners or self-employed folks? I guess my question would be, yeah. So I'm assuming like a mortgage for someone that is a business owner or self-employed. Yeah, absolutely. We have relationships with mortgage professionals that can accommodate someone that is a business owner or that's self-employed. So they don't necessarily fit the traditional profile that banks are looking for when it comes to approving people for mortgages. Yes, we definitely have relationships with individuals that could accommodate you if you're a business owner or if you're self-employed. So again, I highly encourage you to engage with me. If you want to drop your contact information in the chat, I'll get it, and we'll definitely follow up with you and connect you with those people. Excellent. Great question, Carson. Great question. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to type in the chat. I'll be happy to ask Mike. And if he has the expertise, then boom. All right, he has another question. Says for investment properties like fix and flips.
Yeah. I literally have a connection with. They'll give up to $500,000 line of credit for fix and flips, and you can have zero experience. Right? Zero experience. If you have experience, you can go up to 10 million. But if you don't have no experience, they at least gonna give you $500,000. You do fix and flips. Come on, man.
Wow. You're bringing the fire. That was worth the cost of admission right there.
I'm trying to tell them, Darnell.
Oh my gosh. They are getting so much value out of today. I love it. So cool. Well, any last words for our audience that you'd like to leave?
You know what? I really want, we laugh and we kind of joke about it, but the reality is this. Real estate is a powerful vehicle. It's a powerful vehicle as it relates to building wealth. And unfortunately, and I know it's a very uncomfortable conversation, but for decades, as Black people in America, we were deprived of the opportunity, of the access to what we're talking about today. These 8 tips that I gave you, there was a time where our ancestors, again, I talked about luckily my grandmother, although she was ostracized and they had limited access, they found a way, and it literally changed the trajectory of my entire family. and because of the sacrifice and the thing that they did. There are many people in our community and nobody's ever owned a home. Everybody's only rented. Nobody's ever done it.
Mhm.
So they need you to be that person. Be that person to begin building Black wealth, beginning with home ownership. We start with home ownership, and then we keep pushing it forward, because something as simple as you taking that leap of faith, you moving forward and you buying your first home, something as simple as that will completely not only change your world, but it'll change the world for your family and all those that are coming behind you, like it did for me and my family. So I encourage you, get with someone like myself or some other real estate professional, and let's strongly consider how we can get you in a position where you can buy a property if you're not already there.
I've never had an ovation, but you deserve an ovation for that one.
Man, I appreciate that, Darnell.
Right,
I really appreciate the opportunity being here. And I really appreciate everybody giving the energy and the comments and the questions, man. They're the ones that really made this show what it is today, man. So definitely want to say thank you to them.
Absolutely. And we do appreciate our guests for joining in. And thank you, Michael, for taking time out your busy schedule. I know you're very busy and very in demand. If you ever need a coach, Michael is the guy. So seek him out. And it doesn't have to be just real estate. He coaches business owners too. So definitely seek him out.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. So hey, look, if you guys aren't doing anything at 8:00, come see me on Instagram. Follow me at CEO Coach Mike. And I'm going to be showcasing a new non-traditional tool or resource that most people don't know about that will assist them in buying or selling real estate. So hopefully see all of y'all soon at about 8:00 on Instagram Live.
That's right. All right. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Don.
So if you got any value out of today, go ahead and smash that like button. If you are on YouTube, subscribe to Finlit Live, subscribe to Mike's YouTube show also, like he announced earlier. And yeah, share the wealth. Don't keep it to yourself. It's one thing to have it for yourself, but there's a lot of people that don't know anything about this. And so if you know somebody that's interested in getting real estate and don't know how, like he shared a lot of valuable tips to help get started. Like you don't even have to buy real estate to get into the real estate market. So that's pretty cool. And he shared that. So with that, I'd like to share a couple announcements coming up on September 9th at 9 a.m. So 9 at 9 a.m. We have the Boost Your Sales Skills Workshop. And this workshop is where we teach you on how to take your sales skills to the next level, whether you're a leader, you're a sales professional, or you're a politician. If you're in the business of communicating and leading and motivating people, you're going to want to be at this workshop. I had a gentleman that went through the workshop last year, and he literally doubled his production. What would that mean for you if you were able to increase your production 5, 10, 15%? And so with that, I have a little promo that has all the details. So go ahead. We are super excited about it. It's around the corner. It's going to be here before you know it. Grab your tickets while there's space, because it's going to be limited seating. It's not just going to be us talking, but it's going to be interactive, where it's going to be a workbook where you actually get to jot down notes and see how it applies to your specific industry. So with that, I appreciate you guys for jumping on. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. We have this show every Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you want to take your finances to the next level, the difference between where you're at and where you want to be is education, but not just education, it's application. You have to apply the knowledge. And so with that, I appreciate you guys for getting lit.